morning! In this video I'll be reviewing another budget deck. If you were expecting an expensive top tier deck, well, that'll be for next week.
Okay. TCG Zapdos, he does a very good job as well. Very helpful for newer and experienced players alike, so check him out. And TCG Zapdos, great shows with episodes and great editing, and if you like the Pokemon trading card game, check out their videos.
Take a bow for the Night March, wow, a budget deck to take them all down with a neat strategy. So how does it actually work? Well, do you know Battle Compressor might teach you one or two lessons about a new trainer card that works really well and goes quite hard in a deck like this. So guard, because we're discarding the Pokemon in an instant. You had your chance of winning, but now you missed it. I will deal a ton of damage now that I discarded most of my minions. Now I will kill every active now because the damage output is insane. Haha. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here and welcome to episode 86. In this video we'll be reviewing the Night March deck. And for those of you that are wondering, what is the Night March deck? Well, we're gonna find out right now. Do you see these insanely expensive EXs? Well, here is another budget deck. The reason that I make this episode before the metal deck, as you see I have everything I need for the metal deck, Cobalions, Dialgas, but the reason I'm making the Night March deck episode first is because a lot of people don't have the money to buy those expensive EXs, so why not make a budget deck to go to your local tournament and actually surprise your opponents? So let's just check out the deck we came up with. Alright, we have, it's called the Night March deck just because the attack is Night March. First of all, this deck revolves around all the Pokemon that have the attack Night March. So just like this one, a simple Joltik, only 30 HP, has the attack Night March. Night March states this attack does 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in your discard pile that have the Night March attack. So in total, there are 12 Pokemon with the attack. We have Lampant, also deals that attack, but then for Psychic Energy and double Carless, and then Punkaboo for 3 Carless Energy. So in combination with those three in the discard pile, a lot of them, then we can actually deal a lot of damage. As you can know, if you have like, let's say 10 of those in the discard pile, you deal 200 damage. Just let that sink in, 200 damage for just a regular Pokemon, non-EX attacker. This is just great. The bad thing though is that Joltik is just way too weak, Lampant is a stage 1, and Punkaboo is just, yeah. So the thing I came up with is actually a Gourgeist version. We have some Gourgeist. Gourgeist is actually a really great Pokemon. It has the ability Gourgantic. If this Pokemon has any grass energies attached to it, its maximum HP becomes 200. So just a regular stage 1 with 200 HP, and it does have a decent attack. Horror Note dealing 10 damage times the number of cards in your hand, but we won't use it that attack. We're instead going to add 2 Celebi EXs in our deck. Celebi EX has the ability Time Recall. Each of your evolved Pokemon can use any attack from its previous evolutions, which means this gigantic Gourgeist can use as the Night March attack as well once it is evolved. So the thing we want to do is, there's also one Virizion EX in this deck just because that way we can also avoid being affected by special conditions, and it's great once we have the start. If we start with it, it's also great. So the thing is, Virizion EX, Emerald Slash dealing 50 damage, and you may search your deck for a Grass Energy, or actually 2 Grass Energies, and attach them to one of your bench Pokemon. Usually you want to attach this to a Pumpkaboo, maybe a Joltik in later situations where you actually need one, but still Joltik is a bench Pokemon and it's pretty weak. It can be destroyed if you start with it with a Verbank laser combo, so we'll look out for that. But lucky we have Mr. Mime to block the damage, of course. We have 1 copy of this in this deck. I don't say that this deck is the perfect version of the Night March deck. You can also just run those. Actually, you only have like 4 Punkaboo, 4 Lampant, and 4 Joltik, and then you can actually make it your own version. Another thing people run is actually let's see, Lampant. It evolves actually to the Chandelure, if I can type correctly. So this can also be used if you have Rare Candy. That way it has some more luck based on your side, that if you go to Rare Candy, and with Celebi EX you can still use Night March. You have a 130 HP stage 2 Pokemon, a regular Pokemon that doesn't take up 2 prize cards. It is great, and it has the ability Fainting Spell. If it gets knocked out, yeah, you can flip a coin if the attacking Pokemon is knocked out. So let's say a huge Evoltal EX destroys your Chandelure while you flip a coin if heads, that Pokemon is also knocked out. It's a great way to run it, but then you also need Rare Candy. So just to get that out there, There are other ways to run this type of a deck. You can also use Mew EX. I don't have one, unfortunately. Mew EX can actually use all the attacks of all Pokemon in play, so you can use the Night March with Mew EX. The thing about Mew EX is you do have to have one Night March attacker on your bench in order to use the attack, otherwise it won't work. So Mew EX is also a great option in this deck. Then, yeah, that'll basically be it for the Pokemon lines. You can add in certain stuff that you want. It's just optional. Just make sure you have 4 of those Pumpkaboos, 4 Lampants, and 4 Joltix. Those are your main strategy to power up your Pokemon. The next thing we're gonna do is look at the energy line. I run 3 DCEs and 7 Grass Energies. And now everyone will say, Zapdos, you're running Psychic Pokemon, don't run those stupid Grass Energies. Well, the reason that I am running the Grass Energies is just because Celebi EX can sometimes attack. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can deal damage out of nowhere. Also, I only run 3 DCEs, maybe you can run 4, but with Enhanced Hammer in the format, I'm not a big fan of the DCE at the moment. But maybe we can switch things up. You can run 4 and then run 6 Grass Energies, or maybe run more energies, since I only run 10 energies in my deck in total. So it's just optional. I'm just gonna give you my list. You can also try out the new and improved energy for Psychic, the Mystery Energy. Mystery Energy is a card that actually, if you give it to one of your Psychic Pokemon, his retreat cost becomes 2 less. This is great to get out of the active position, once you're in an item block, or yeah, you can use Switch and Float Stones and stuff. This is great, an optional retreat method, but still, I'm kind of afraid of Enhanced Hammer in the format, so that's why I'm not running that many special energies. And the reason I'm running Grass over Psychic energies is because the Gourgeist ability only works with Grass energies. Okay, now that we have that aside, we're gonna see the trainer line. We run 31 trainers in this deck. Usually every deck runs around something around that. So we have 4 Battle Compressors, which is a must in this deck. It lets you search up in your deck for 3 cards, regular cards. You can just choose whatever you want and then discard them. This is great in most decks because in this deck, for example, you can get your Joltix and Lampants in the discard pile. With that way, we can have those Night March attack powered up really fast. Another great thing about the Battle Compressor is that it can also be used in other decks like Pyroar, the Metal decks, other decks out there, Evoltol decks, to get Darkness or energies or Fire energies or Metal energies depending on what deck you're playing in the discard pile. And with that, you can use the abilities to or attacks to get the discarded energies back to in play. So great card, Battle Compressor, test it out. As the Ace Pack card, yes, we're still running Ace Pack cards in the next format. I believe in this summer, actually. There's a lot of months away, but then we'll have a new format where Ace Pack cards aren't around. But for now, we run Dowsing Machine. Also, starting Megaphone is a must because we do have a lot of abilities. We have Virizion, Celebi, Gorgantic, Mr. Mime. Maybe add it up to 2, but since we run Dowsing Machine, we can actually have 2. So yeah, starting Megaphone. Then the switch, we only run 1 because most of the time we don't really want to switch. We have the Pokemon, if they get knocked out, like this little Joltik, it actually powers up our next Night Marcher. Let's see, and these Pokemon all have 1 retreat cost, so it isn't that of a bother to get them out of the active position. Also, 3 Ultra Balls is great, discarding stuff, getting a Pokemon. This is great to search out your Gorgantic Gourgeist. 1 Via Seeker, a new card from the set, from the Phantom Forces set, great to get a discarded supporter back from the discard pile to your hand. A great way in the late game if you're not running against the Seismitoad versions, because if you're running Seismitoad, that's why this card is in here as well. 1 Gerosic, choose 1 Pokemon Tool card or special energy card attached to a Pokemon in play and discard it. This is great to get the Tool card out of the Garbodor once you're locked. This is the only way to get that. If Seismitoad uses Quaking Punch and he has Garbodor out as well, our deck pretty much falls apart. 1 Gerosic. Then we have 1 Lysander, capturing out some stuff is always great. Then 4 N. For Sycamore, we're actually going to improve. Instead of using Juniper time after time, we're going for the new players, like we're using Sycamore this time around. And then 4 Skyla, and then 2 Dimensional Valley. This is great because each of your Psychic Pokemon's attacks cost 1 less. We run 2 of those just because Gorgantic, the attack, or actually Gourgeist, uses the attack of Pumpkaboo, and Pumpkaboo has 3 colorless energies to use Night March, so with Dimensional Valley we only need a DCE, which is awesome. Then we have one Float Stone. This is great to have attached to a Pokemon that you don't want to have, like Virizion or your Celebi. If you attach it, or maybe Mr. Mime, that way if they can catch her out, you can retreat for free. Alright, where were we? Then 2 Muscle Bands. You can actually add up everything different in your deck. It's a personal deck. I just showed you guys to review this deck in all its glory. And then we have Head Ringer, one of the most popular cards from the Phantom Force set, which actually attach, if you have this card and you play it, you attach it to one of your opponent's EXs. And this is also a great way to show you the power of Flare cards. That way your opponent can attach any more tool cards to that Pokemon, and actually with the Head Ringer it has the effect, the attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to cost 1 colorless energy more. So Seismitoad needs 3 colorless energies to use. Quaking Punch, and just the same like Mewtwo EX needs 3 for the X-Ball, so things will change up a bit with this format. You can also add in a Mewtwo here, maybe to have some support late game, to have a DCE attacking stuff. But maybe it's just me babbling around because there's a lot of options, because the Night March deck is so versatile. So try it out, it's a great deck. And just for you guys, I'm gonna test out this deck. I reviewed it a lot. Usually I go over the deck really quickly in the TCG Online matches, but since this is an episode, I'm actually gonna make the time to explain everything, and I did that. So now we're going to have a versus match to show the deck in action. So that way you see a deck list, you heard me review the deck, and then you see it in action. That way it will be much more easier to understand the deck. Alright, it's loading. Random battle, why not? Ranked, and then we're gonna use a standard. Let's see. All these decks, what to pick. The new Night March deck, of course. Okay, let's see what opponent waits us on the other side of the world. So the first try with Night March deck. Let's see if it hypes up to his reputation as the great, what's it called? The budget deck. Also, you should know is that Flareon from the Plasma Free set is also a great option with his Vengeance attack, because it works like that. The many more Pokemon you have in the discard pile, the more damage you deal. We start with Celebi EX. So, this is terrible. We're facing a Trapinch. Huh. Trapinch, flip a coin. It doesn't deal a lot of damage. Okay, what can we do? Actually, we can win this game. Probably. With... yeah, I think we can do this. This is how speedy the deck is. Just look at this. We're gonna discard stuff like this. We're gonna get out Joltik. Yes. Joltik will donk because... oh no, it has the lightning resistance, but it doesn't really matter. It will die anyway. Skyla for Battle Compressor. And then Battle Compressor to put 3 cards in the discard pile with Pumpkaboo, Joltik, and where's the other one? Lampant. So these are the 3 Night Marchers. They march together in the discard pile. There they go. 1, 2, 3. Reuse switch. And this little Joltik will eat this Trapinch up alive. So that's how the deck works. Just like this. It's a simple technique showing you how fast the deck can be, but usually you want to have Gourgeist as your main attacker with Celebi EX around. But it was just showing you in this little episode how the deck functions and how fast it can be. The thing you should notice is that Joltik is a lightning Pokemon, so it will eat up Eviltals as well, which is great. And the other Pokemon we have are as Psychic Pokemon. Gourgeist will eat up Mewtwo's as well as Lucario. So it's a stable deck like this. And yeah, I'll be making another video about the deck with a full match where you see everything in action. But for now, this is an episode, so it can last like forever, and otherwise it'll just call a TCG Online match anyway. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode for the Night March deck, and let me know what suggestions you have for the next episode. Actually, the next episode will be about Dialga, the metal decks. If you have like something you want to share, put it in the comment section. I'll definitely read it because I read every comment you guys submit in the comment section. And thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed it, definitely click a like because I do appreciate everything you guys support me because it's awesome just being on YouTube promoting the TCG Online card game because it's just so sick and so awesome. Phantom Forces is out. Check out my booster box if you haven't already, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you. Peace.